Since the start of All Elite Wrestling in 2019, we've seen the return of the sport we all know and love. Plenty of wrestlers made their way into the company, which led many fans who had stopped watching the product, come back to being regular fans. And all this is thanks to the men and women that risk their lives every single week in order to put on the best matches they possibly can. Unfortunately, sometimes things may not have went according to plan, which resulted in a variety of injuries. Some are light. Some are very serious. Let's take a look at the top 10 worst injuries in AEW. Matt Hardy was cutting a promo in the ring when Sammy Guevara suddenly attacked him. After some back and forth, Guevara threw a chair at Hardy's head, busting him wide open above his eyebrow. Guevara then launched himself off the stage onto Hardy, who was laying on a table below. Apparently, instead of using the typical black steel chairs we're used to seeing in pro wrestling, Guevara threw a chair which was significantly heavier. This incident led to Matt Hardy wearing the Crimson Mask and getting 13 stitches to his head. Guevara received some heat for this reckless spot and was given a stern talking to backstage by AEW officials. It didn't take long for us to see Matt Hardy back in action, yet the sight of him pouring blood on that table still gives me the creeps. In his second match in All Elite Wrestling, Jake Atlas faced Adam Cole on Rampage. During the match, Atlas was setting up a springboard jump which Cole super kicked into. However, Atlas landed badly and hurt his knee. The referee made a hand gesture to Jake, which is often done in order for the wrestler to notify the ref if he can carry on with the match or not. Cole tried to attempt a Panama Sunrise, but being the professional that he is, quickly realized that Atlas was hurt. So he went for a soft knee bar on Jake to quickly finish the match. The quick thinking by Adam Cole was highly praised by the fans, and fortunately for Atlas, an MRI scan confirmed that his injury was not that severe. Although we haven't seen Jake Atlas yet, fans are quite concerned about him considering he also suffered an injury in his run with the WWE. We all look forward to seeing Atlas return better than ever. It wouldn't be a Cody Rhodes match without some big surprise, blood, or something dangerous happening. Well, this is exactly what we got in his street fight main event with Andrade on the December 1st episode of Dynamite. Towards the end of the match, the two men threw themselves into a flaming table, having pieces of flaming wood getting stuck to their bodies. Throughout the match, Cody was seen with a fire prevention substance which the commentary team tried to play out as something which stuck to Cody when he was hit by a trash can earlier in the match. Although both men did not suffer any serious injuries, Rhodes was treated for burns backstage and his marks were still noticeably visible on his back in the weeks to follow. During his successful defense of the undisputed TNT Championship in a recent episode of Dynamite, Sammy Guevara faced off Darby Allin in a great match. During their mid-match back and forth, both men were sitting in the middle of the ring.
When we slapped each other, I guess he scratched my eye. And so I can't really open this one. And when I try to open this one's fine, but it hurts that one when I open this one.
During a tournament match between Lance Archer and Eddie Kingston, Archer attempted a moonsault off the top rope but ended up rotating less than he should have, which resulted in him landing on his head. Whilst in the match, he was checked out at ringside by the referee and ringside physician, but props to Eddie Kingston for noticing the seriousness of the fall. He rolled up Archer for the pin and ended the match sooner than expected. This injury led to Archer being out of action for a number of weeks, yet he made his return when he faced Adam Hangman Page for the AEW World Championship. Longtime wrestling veteran Christopher Daniels picked up quite a nasty injury during his tag team match against the Young Bucks. During the match, Nick Jackson super kicked Christopher's head into one of the steel posts of the ring. During the spot, Nick was seen looking at Daniels to see if he's okay, but of course he had to play it out being the heel in the match. Even the commentators were shocked by the sight of blood that was pouring out of the wound. In a recent Chris Van Vliet interview, Daniels said that even though we haven't seen him in the ring in a few months, he is still touring with AEW and involved with the company in a backstage role. It turns out that Daniels suffered a hemorrhage, which basically is a ruptured blood vessel. Such injury takes quite a while to heal up, and even though Christopher's vision is perfectly okay, as he stated, it's just the white of the eye that's sort of discolored. Daniels has had this injury before, but this one is taking longer than usual to heal up. Chris Jericho and Cody Rhodes faced each other at AEW's Full Gear for the World Championship. However, instead of a shiny new championship, Rhodes ended up walking away with a gash on his forehead. Midway through the match, Cody tossed Jericho onto the ramp and opted to go for a suicide dive. Unfortunately for Rhodes, instead of catching him, Jericho simply moved out of the way. This led to Cody landing on the metal ramp face first. This terrible part of the match quickly went viral on social media, After which AEW gave everyone an update on Cody, letting everyone know that he will be alright, after receiving 8 stitches to the head. The scar from this incident is still visible on Cody's forehead and is probably not going anywhere anytime soon. FTR vs Santana and Ortiz was quite a good match, which unfortunately was cut short due to an injury suffered by FTR member Cash Wheeler. During the match, Wheeler got his arm caught on the turnbuckle in a freaky-looking incident. This made a deep cut in his arm, and after noticing what had happened, the other men went straight to the finish so that Wheeler could be taken to the back for medical attention. A few weeks after this incident, Cash Wheeler posted some graphic photos on Twitter and stated that he dealt with loss of grip strength and loss of feeling in his arm. He went on to recover from this injury, yet this will still be ingrained into the memories of all the fans that watched this match. The first episode of Dynamite on TBS saw a very good match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships between the Lucha Brothers and Jurassic Express. Near the end of the match, an unfortunate incident occurred when Luchasaurus choke-slammed Rey Fenix through a table. This led to many fans and fellow wrestlers get worried about Fenix's condition, yet although everyone thought he had broken his arm, it turns out that Fenix suffered a dislocated elbow. A few hours after he was seen to by the medical team, Rey confirmed that the injury is nothing he can't heal from, and he will be alright. Currently, Fenix is still off television and fans are getting the opportunity to see his brother, in a new dark gimmick, Kenta Oscuro. In their Broken Rules match at All Out, Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara were seen trading punches on top of the scaffold, when Sammy speared Matt off of it, launching them towards a table on the ground. Unfortunately, Sammy speared Hardy a bit too hard, which ended up having them miss the landing, and Hardy landed hard on his head, hitting the concrete floor. The hit was so bad that he was unable to walk and could not even stand up. Matt Hardy suffered a concussion, and his wife even took to Twitter to criticize AEW for their decision to let the match go on. This was by far the most worrying moment in AEW history. Any other injuries which I did not mention in this video? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.